Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out. Pleasures to be in the company of world-renowned trainer Abel Sanchez in Saudi Arabia. Abel, good to see you. How's life treating you?
Everything is great. Happy to be here in Saudi. First time for me. Experiencing some extreme heat, but it's a lot of fun.
Got double duty, I believe, this weekend in terms of Alakel and Filip Hrgovic. Starting off with Mohammed Alakel. Obviously, a lot of pressure on his shoulders in terms of wanting to get a Saudi Arabian fighter to the top of the boxing ladder. But what do you feel are his prospects in terms of getting there?
His Excellency took a chance and sent him to Big Bear. Hopefully, we get the results that he's looking for. It's a hardworking young man, very dedicated in the gym. We came here on weight, so he's disciplined and he works hard. We're going to do all we can to get him to that point.
What are you looking for him in terms of his performance this weekend? What do you want to see out of his result?
Well, we've been working on a lot of different things in the gym, so now it's a matter of just implementing those in every fight. This will be a 6-round fight, so we need to work on the things that we practice in the gym. Next fight will be the same thing, and as we progress, hopefully he gets better and progresses to the point where we can fight him for a world title.
Turning our attention to Filip Hrgovic. On the British side of things, there was a lot of confusion in terms of this fight being taken both on Adela's side and on Filip Hrgovic's side. Could you explain how Filip ended up in the fight with David?
Well, actually, first I started working with Philip back in September, and we had probably 4 dates that fell out on us. So we were in camp, and we took a week off, and then we got back to camp, and fights kept falling out back in December and in February and January and February, and then he went home. He went home for a month. I get a call that we got the Joyce fight. So because of the Dubois debacle that he had, maybe he wasn't being taken seriously, or people thought that he was finished. But once I got the call from Keith Connolly, his manager, about the Joyce fight, it was like on a 3-week notice. After that fight did so well that we knew we were going to get a call about something was going to happen. When I got the call from Philip about David Adeleye, I thought it was a great fight for us. I'm sure that David thinks the same thing. With Usyk being in the position that he's in, winning that fight against Dubois, and being in a place where he may retire, he may not retire. He's got a lot of obligations as far as the organizations are concerned. It opens up the door for all the heavyweights at the top. So it's a big fight for both guys, for Adelaide and for us.
You mentioned there about a lot of people in the industry maybe feeling like Filip doesn't have it anymore. What do you look for in a fighter when they come through your doors to say that they've got more left in them? How do you find that out in the infancy in the first few days?
Well, fortunate for us in Big Bear, and for me now at this stage, I get fighters that have accomplishments. So it's a matter of retuning a little bit, and mentally and physically. He's done all the work in the gym. It's just a matter of now can you put it together in a fight. The Dubois fight set him back a couple notches mentally. He never thought he could lose. None of these guys think they can lose. But there's 2 guys in the ring, and one guy's going to win, the other guy's going to lose. So it's a matter of getting them in the gym and just trying to retool and retune and get that confidence back, and not necessarily changing their style or changing their habits, but just focusing on more on the task at hand.
You mentioned about the confusion from the British perspective, and that's more because David Adeleye, because he was in a fight with Jamie TKV, maybe even reported to be scheduled in a rematch with Jamie, and then he's taken the jump up to David. What are your expectations of David Adeleye coming in this weekend?
Oh, I saw him fight. I've seen several of his fights. The Fabio fight I saw, and obviously he wasn't the winner there, but he's a very accomplished young man. Big puncher, very skilled, very strong. So we're looking for a tough fight. I mean, it's not a walkover. People may think that because of Fabio's fight, he doesn't belong there. He belongs there. He's very strong, and he's got a great team. I know Adam's going to have him ready, so it's a matter of us being ready also.
Heavyweights, and it's an obvious statement, but a lot of the fights are predicated in terms of the decisions on the power that the heavyweight possesses. Have you seen or noted David Adelaye's power, and is it a power that concerns you in the fight with Hrgovic?
It concerns everybody. It should concern everybody. You should be aware of it. But at the heavyweight division, one punch can change an outcome so quickly. And I would say that 99% of the heavyweights, one punch can change a fight. So we're we've practiced and we've trained to not get hit with a good shot. We're going to get hit because that's just a part of the game, but it's just a matter of not allowing him to get into a rhythm and not allowing him to land that big shot. But he can punch, and so can Philip.
Conditioning is like the trademark, the hallmark, the signature of any fighter that comes out through Big Bear. But that is something that's been questioned about Philip in his last fight with Daniel Dubois, the last big fight, where they felt that maybe he might have been outgunned, but also the physical, the endurance side of things wasn't there for Philip. How different will he be this weekend?
You know, that's what I meant when I said a little while ago about when they get to be 15, 16, 17 and 0, 18 and 0, they think they're invincible, and they put that conditioning out to the side, and it's not the important part of their training habits. We make sure in Big Bear, and we make sure that they work hard, and they're as prepared physically as possible. We've had some success up there with some of the other fighters, so we kind of have a game plan as far as conditioning wise. Not just a matter of putting the conditioning and the fundamentals and the boxing skills to work together.
Can I ask you about the main event heavyweight fight in the form of Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte? What do you think, or how do you think that fight goes between the two of them?
It's a great fight. It's a great fight. We're going to find out what Moses is all about. See if he can dispatch Dylan as he has the ones before. I don't think it'll be as easy fight as a lot of people think. Dylan's an experienced warrior, so I think all the pressure's on Moses. I don't think there's any pressure on Dylan right now. So Dylan's got a chance to put himself back in the mix with either a win or a very close loss. He puts himself right back in the game. So it's important for both guys.
You've seen so many fighters come and go. You've dealt with elite level fighters. Is Moses on the path towards that, or is he worthy of the next big thing label that we've given him?
I think he's got a lot of tools. I think he's got real fast hands. The southpaw style for a heavyweight is, there's been some fighters in the past, starting maybe with Chris Bird, the southpaw that beat one of the Klitschko's, or I think he beat both of the Klitschko's. I think it's very frustrating for guys because we don't get the sparring in the gym with southpaws like that. Usyk has proven that. So he's got fast hands. He's a southpaw. He's very talented. He's got a great team. Ben's doing a good job with him. But it's a they're trying to use Dylan as a stepping stone. It may not be as easy as he thinks, but he's on the right path. I mean, he's talented.
Mentioning Oleksandr Usyk, so many fighters have had the opportunity to try and dethrone him, but they've not been able to. Does anyone dethrone Oleksandr Usyk, or do you think he remains undefeated if he retires?
We had the opportunity of fighting him with Murat Gassiev in the tournament. I think that at this stage, I think his Father Time is going to really defeat him if he stays on path, if he stays training. I think there was an interview that I saw just a couple of days ago regarding his training camp for this fight. He was away from his family for 9-10 months. He's dedicated, and I think that's for a coach, that's something that's heartwarming because not all fighters are dedicated like that. And I'm happy to hear, and I'm happy to see his success because he did beat me. I think that if anything beats him, it'll be his boredom. Like he's done what he needed to do, and he's accomplished what he needed to accomplish, and there's nothing else to do.
Do you have a fighter in Filip Hrgovic that has the assets, the abilities to defeat Usyk, do you feel?
Well, of course. You always have to think that you can win. I think that Filip's size and Filip's strength may be able to nullify his athletic ability, may be able to nullify Usyk at this stage. 4 or 5 years ago, Usyk is a different fighter. At this stage, he's got a lot of miles on his odometer, so we hope to get that opportunity.
When you say he's a different fighter, could you break that down for me? What's the difference between the Usyk you fought and the Usyk now, aside from their weight?
Yeah, I think it's the experience. I think that once you've had the fight that he's had, the last 5 or 6 fights against some very seasoned guys, you learn how to do things differently in the ring. It's not so much as that young stud with a lot of strength and a lot of power, or I should say a lot of strength and not so much power, but a lot of now he's got more, I want to say experience, but he's got more, as we say it in Spanish, colmillo. He's a little
long in the tooth.
Yeah, he's long in the tooth now with some of the guys that he's fought. He's learned a lot, I'm sure, in the fights that he's had. So that right there is what's carried him, I think, against the guys that he's fought lately.
We're in the UK saying that Moses Itauma is next week's thing, and he's the one to take on Oleksandr Usyk and maybe hand him that first defeat. Is he ready? Does he have the ability?
I don't think he's ready. I think we're going to see on Saturday night how Dylan does with him or how he does with Dylan. That'll be a barometer, I think, that to tell us where Moses is. But he definitely is headed in the direction that he may be the one to topple him if he gets the opportunity first. But Usyk is, along with experience comes age. Along with experience comes the loss of some of this speed and some of the movement. So who gets him first, who knows? But Moses, in my opinion, depending on Saturday night, has got 3 or 4 fights before I think he gets to that level.
The other one who we believe is in a reported fight with him, a trilogy fight, is Tyson Fury. Tyson, of course, had 2 efforts against Oleksandr Usyk, but became unstuck in those first 2 fights. Do you think in a trilogy he can change much to turn those defeats into a victory?
You know, I had Tyson Fury was in my gym for about 3 weeks up in Big Bear, and I saw an athlete that his worst enemy is himself. He is such a big, massive specimen that moves in the ring like a gazelle. He's got a lot of ability, but I think that his mental ability to control himself in the ring, as far as concentrating for the full 12 rounds, has been his detriment. In the third fight, if he's able to rein that in and be able to focus on 12 rounds, he's probably the one that can beat Usyk.
When you say concentration, we look at that first fight and show the antics and stuff, which was then shaved off in the second. Was there any further level of concentration he needed to get to that wasn't apparent in the second fight that he needs to do in the third?
I think that his ability is good enough to beat Usyk. His mental capacity to concentrate on the 12 rounds is what's going to hurt him. I believe in the first Deontay Wilder fight against Tyson, I was fortunate enough to do radio, BBC radio, and my prediction before the fight was that Tyson will win 11 rounds and then start clowning around, make a mistake in the 12th, and get knocked out. He got dropped and almost knocked out, just like I had predicted, because he is, like I said, his worst enemy. He's such a talent, but he can't seem to keep it together for 12.